Alright. Hello and welcome to SunnyRedemption Sailing, your biweekly voyage for BS3 gaming news, straight from my new GM Tech K12 GMK Tech. Excuse. Why does my brain always get this wrong? GMK Tech Nuckbox K12. Maybe because it feels like there should be an E to make it Gem Tech. But
Yeah.
It claims, okay, fire data cannot be loaded. That's
What,
that's
in Crossworlds?
yeah, in Crossworlds. Huh.
Weird.
Well, let me try again. Oh boy. Jeez. Well, this is a problem. Obviously.
Did it work fine before?
It did, but it just does. Okay, so I probably just don't have enough space. So let me just pull up the task manager and realize that, yeah, there's a reason people prefer the convenience of consoles. Yikes. I totally thought that it would have worked, but let's end the task now. Okay. And I have enough space, right? Maybe not to the liking of the C drive, but 15.2 gigabytes should be more than enough. I've just been installing and moving around games all week, including installing my first SSD ever, which, yeah, okay, this game is unplayable now, for some reason. Well, that's annoying. Fortunately, Task Manager, it's very easy to get out of this, at least. Still very frustrating, I'm sure, for the audience and for myself, because I'm just like, grr, why? But yeah, that was incredibly annoying because the screwdriver that I used to pull out said screw for the 1 terabyte storage version of this, I was able to get it back in, but then what I think happened is that I pressed too hard and the drill bit the screw bit, I suppose, went inside of the screwdriver. So
Oh, yeah.
that made it very difficult to leverage for the next part, where I was gonna install a 2 terabyte drive that would solve my storage issues forever. But now that's just sitting in a screwdriver bag. So, and I just uninstalled Halo the Master Chief Collection. Let me see if I can try it with cloud gaming at all with that. Either that, or if it doesn't work out very well, we can do PowerWash. Does it want to allow me to do cloud gaming? Huh. Well, I can at least understand a little bit about how Microsoft plans to integrate all these games from your play history, because it's showing up as Marvel Spider-Man Remastered on Steam, my latest game, because that's what I tested, and it's probably gonna suck, this UI, unless they find some way to brilliantly combine the best of this PC app and the best of Xbox UI. I just don't know how it's not just a weird mixture of links out to whatever last game you played from Steam, but not very intuitively, and then your library games. So while I figure this out, why don't you tell me what you've been playing?
Well, I finished Ninja Gaiden 4. I kind of powered through it on my last day off the other day.
Nice.
Yeah, that game, it does kind of, like, it becomes a very asset reuse heavy game in the last third of it, because sorry, the first 2/3 you play as the main protagonist, then the last third is sort of an extended flashback where you play as Ryu from the earlier Ninja Gaidens, and you kind of go through and you fight a lot of the same bosses and a lot of the same levels, just with the different moveset because you're Ryu now.
Huh.
But it's still cool. It's still like at its baseline, it's still very fun to play. It was just kind of like, oh, once I got to like the second level that was reused, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. They're just, they're kind of extending this out, but it's still a fantastic game, just front to back.
Huh.
So I'm keeping it installed for now too, because it does unlock the higher difficulties and a bunch of challenge stuff after that I'm definitely at some point going to go for. I'm probably going to take a little break, but I don't want to take too much of a break and lose my edge at that game, because I'm currently pretty good at it.
Huh. Well, I don't know what edge really there is for a single player game.
I mean,
Well,
just like I don't want to lose my timing on the parries and the, all that stuff.
I see. I see.
Some of that stuff is tricky to pull off. But
Well,
once you dial in timing, it's incredible.
Well, so let's try ODST, like one mission, maybe. Let's see. What? Hello?
I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, or you know what? I'm realizing now with the well, that's an interesting way to flip between different apps. You know what? No, I was gonna suggest maybe doing Sonic Racing Crossroads anyway with the Switch 2 version. But
I was gonna suggest that. I was like, wait, do you still have the Switch version? Because
I do. It's just
put out
that
the patch.
it's just that hopefully the audio is okay. I'm just glad that the cloud gaming works pretty well for this. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Closing all windows allows me to quit the game.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm gonna
then.
lead him in anyways, because I did start a race in this just while I was waiting. I should be done in like a minute.
Okay. So you that's why you were hesitating on Halo. I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I literally was getting pummeled with items. I couldn't think for a second. I was like,
well, while you're doing that, the main game that
brain
I've been
frozen.
playing on my new PC is let me just make a property output. Let's see. Sure. How does that work? Okay. Projector. There we go. I'll put projector. There we are. Okay. It's not perfect. It's not the greatest way to actually show the although well, it's good enough for me. To show the Switch this way. It's at least I have my streaming set up, it seems. And everything is nice and lazily on like one or two inputs. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna put in the Switch 2 version of this. This is probably not representative of how the game actually looks, but it's really, really good. So far, I mean, the performance when I tested it on the mini PC was also really good. So this game is very highly performant.
nice.
And well, the Switch 2 upgrade does exactly what it says on the tin. It's there to clean up the game and make it 60 FPS. I mean that's what it does, and it's not ashamed about it. Let me just lower the volume slightly on my Switch 2, so I'm not having Sonic music blasting in my ears.
Alright, I'm out of that race, by the way.
Okay, well. Okay, so I guess we'll just invite each other then.
I can pull you up on the friends list. There you are. Okay.
Extras, options.
Alright. I sent you the invite.
Sounds good. Just setting the master volume down to like 40 so I can hear you better. Let's see, it says... Hang on. I guess you click on friend list and then do the online mode. Okay, there we go. Join lobby? Alrighty then.
Let me know when you're in.
Yeah, well, I'm loading. Okay, so I've been mainly enjoying Dispatch finally, because lobby does not exist. Fail to join. What?
Oh, you know what happened? I went offline for a second to check something in the options.
Okay.
For, like the music player. Let me try that again. And
I don't know why that's so separate. Why they insist on loading you to an online mode.
I backed out, and I didn't even consider the fact that it boots you offline when it does that. Let me get the invite going again.
Yeah, well, that's fucking annoying.
Okay. There you go. All right.
But yeah, so the main reason to play Dispatch is definitely the writing.
Yeah. Before you say anything, how many episodes in are you?
Well, okay. So, I haven't actually checked, Dispatch, how many episodes there are.
I don't want us to spoil each other. There's 8.
Okay.
One of us is further than the other. I don't want us to say something.
I'm sure you're further than me. I'm sure of it. Like, there's no way that I'm possibly spoiling you.
Okay, well, the episodes are not that long, so I didn't know how many you got through. Because I finished episode 4 the other day.
Well, let's see. Well, okay, so, oh, that's not what I wanted. I thought my Xbox was controller was controlling it, so clicked on the wrong thing. That's the fun part about swapping so much. But anyway,
okay.
On def.
Okay.
I think. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I think that I just finished episode 3, but I wasn't really thinking about talking all that in depth about the story anyway.
Yeah, no, we don't have to. I didn't
Yeah.
want to. I just didn't want to inadvertently say anything.
True.
That would spoil things.
True. Well, the characters are great so far. I mean, I'm enjoying
the
them.
writing is fantastic.
That really is the reason to play this game, because
I do enjoy the dispatching part. It's just like knowing kind of that it doesn't really affect the story. I just treat it as like its own separate thing that occasionally sort of weaves into the larger narrative.
the hacking minigame is cool, but everything else is kind of just if more was relying on this gameplay, I would be more frustrated with it, because it is very difficult to know what characters' traits might be useful. Obviously, they don't want to give you exactly the outlines of how that is, and that makes sense. But it can pretty much be a roll the dice on how the heroes actually behave, and how anything goes, really. At least so far. There are upgrades I'm, looking at. I'm not sure they make all that much of a difference with how many of these episodes are very introductory. Honestly, if it wasn't for the acting around the characters, then the writing would be kind of generic too. It's very superhero. It's very much what you expect a superhero office comedy to feel like. It's just that it's just that the dialogue is really, really, really good. And you can sense the history that these characters have with each other and the deeper backstory. Plus, it's a very interesting way of looking at a secret identity as a concept in an interesting way that's never been done before, because the idea is that Robert Robertson has to keep the fact that he's Mecha Man and not just some new lowlife completely a secret from everyone, which is a very huge version of how that's normally done. So yeah, so far that's really propelling, is the dialogue and the premise.
Yeah. And from what I hear, it only gets stronger. Like, I think episode by episode, it's gotten better and better so far for me, at least.
I can see that. I mean,
like episode 4, I finished that, and I really wanted to play the next episode, but I have a friend who wants to watch me play more of it, so I'm waiting on
wow.
Yeah.
So there's some replay value there in terms of the story. It seems for people who don't normally do these kinds of games. But yeah, like,
I mean, he finished it a couple weeks ago, so her and I was playing. He's like, "Oh, you need to wait for me so I can watch you."
oh well, that's a slightly different story for sure.
Yeah.
Just get this.
Back in the day, we used to do that same thing with Telltale games and stuff.
Huh. I can see that as well. I have just been doing terribly this race.
I've kind of been middle of the pack.
I'm more used to using the Xbox controller with the PC version, so I probably will get my adapter going so I can plug in my Xbox controller. It's not cheating to do that, because seriously, it's way better ergonomically this way. And it's like, you would think that Nintendo would ban that if that was actually a problem, but it's not. Either that or it's not sophisticated enough and widespread enough to be banned, but I doubt this is cheating.
Yeah, that's the thing is, Nintendo has been pretty open with allowing that stuff. Like, plenty of people, wow, I really got last place, okay. I was in like 6th to 8th place for most of the race, and I got hit by like 2 drills in the last 10 seconds, which put me in last.
Well.
Yeah, but Nintendo's been pretty open, at least since in the Switch era, of just allowing whatever controller-wise, because 8BitDo has a zillion of those, plenty of third-party controllers out there.
That makes sense. And I mean, like, it's not that this game feels badly at all, it's just, I'm just getting used to that again. And possibly there's some input delay just from streaming this console, but that's just how it goes. And only somewhat taking the blame off of me being a little bit rusty at this game. And possibly the steering assist could be to blame too, but also, this game is very unpredictable and fun in that way. But I definitely noticed a lot better performance than even this on the PC version. So, even though it doesn't work, darn it, I wanted to make this my main version. I do not know why the data just could not load. It's just it's the name of the game with PC gaming sometimes. Like some older games that I thought would run fine just had issues loading older versions of Windows Windows Media Player, basically, with DirectX 9, that couldn't play at all, and so that meant, the game's not working. And that's kind of annoying.
Dumb question, but maybe... So, did the game boot at all? PC?
Well, you mean Crossworlds? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I was able to get it working before, so the fact that it just decides that it couldn't load the save data at all
The only thing
makes
that
no sense.
the only thing I could think of, and I doubt this is the case, but the only thing I could think of that would make any sense would be, I know that there was a patch that came out like pretty recently. Maybe it didn't pull that patch down, and now it's like incompatible. I don't know.
I can try seeing if there's an update.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of, is that I know this game just got a patch.
This turn always sends me to the back of the pack. Grr.
Yeah, I did fine on it last race, but for some reason this time I fell off. Didn't hold my grip slow enough.
You know, maybe it's just that SpongeBob sucks at driving.
I mean, that is canon. If you want to get into the SpongeBob canon as it relates to Sonic the Hedgehog games.
And that's really that really would be on point, but also he's at least in my main playthrough of Titans of the Tide, he's currently being occupied with switching ghost bodies with Patrick anyway. So he must just be rusty as well. That game is awesome.
I've heard.
I mean, the cosmic whatever, the Cosmic Shake. I thought that was okay, but just not as good as Battle for Bikini Bottom Remastered. And this feels a little bit more inventive like that. Like there's a lot more design for new mechanics instead of, okay, well, we recreated a classic game in its level design. Let's try to figure out how to get to that, and then, well, they got a little bit closer to that.
That's good to hear.
I mean, first of all, the switching mechanic is really inventive because they've now made they've made some pretty great games involving both SpongeBob and Patrick platforming. Would it be great if it was co-op directly? Sure, but then the entire conceit of the game would be different. So, I understand completely why they didn't go with that. For Black Friday, I also got, Like Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, because, I am... Ow. Yeah, that finish was ow, indeed.
Yeah, I managed to pull a little bit ahead towards the end.
Well, I think people roughly get the idea. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'd like to play some Power Wash Simulator so I can hear myself think a little bit more, and we can discuss some gaming news before I get your help with Metroid Prime 4.
So I can't be too much help yet because I have not gotten to play it. I've been working
at
the
all?
last couple days.
Oh no! I was really hoping.
I downloaded it yesterday and then had to go to bed, and then I was at work today.
Ah, well, why don't I pull up the Power Wash Simulator then, and we can talk about it. At least what I can share. Let's see.
Yeah, that was kind of the reason I was trying to marathon Ninja Gaiden the other day.
I see.
I want to get that out of the way and done so I can fully focus on Metroid when that comes out.
Oh, right. I gotta actually pull that up in order to quit it. Okay. And now I can hide you. Thank you for joining us on this very experimental stream, people. Alright. Power Wash Simulator 2. One of the best things about modern PC gaming, honestly, right now, is just how easily and quickly it switches between keyboard and mouse controller inputs. For most games, anyway. So that even in the same session, I can just swap back and forth real nicely. Wait. Yes, it is true. It was showing Power Wash Simulator logo the first. So Let's see. Running. Please work with the multiplayer this time. I imagine that
Yeah.
you would be you needing to invite me as well.
Okay. I will try.
Well, so, impressions. The the gameplay is really good so far. I'm hoping for it to get a little bit more twisty later. Um, but I can really see why the dialogue from the character that follows you around, at least the one that I've encountered that everybody mentions, would get annoying. But thankfully, he has left me behind, and so I am tackling a puzzle with like three balls, with like three energy balls. I need to put into three holes at the same time. And I was really hoping that you could help me out with that because this game is way more puzzle forward than I was thinking at first, for its opening act.
Hmm.
I What is going on with this loading? Please work. Okay, thank you. Um, yeah, that's the thing again with PC gaming is there appears to be no guarantee on anything.
Hmm.
Um, but here we go. Well, my character spawned in without a power washer for a second there, but I'm in.
Okay. I guess the easiest thing for me to do would give me, or I'll give you the room code. I guess I could try. Oh no, wait. Are you on?
I am now on online multiplayer,
Okay.
so fingers
Are you
crossed.
on? Here, I'll just text you the room code. That'll probably be faster.
Okay. Yep. Well, how do you put in the room code? That's what I want to know.
If you go to the pause menu, if you click the right stick, at least for me, that'll give you the like friends/multiplayer tab.
Well,
And I assume there's a place to enter the room code, because for me it gives me a room code display.
it's gonna.
Maybe there's somewhere else that you enter it. I don't know.
Something went wrong with loading this section. Are you kidding me? I tried to do the invite players, but let's see. How does one enter a room code? That's what I'm trying. Okay, hang on. Meow, virtual kitty. Room code. PowerWash Simulator 2. But yeah, I also got Like a Dragon and Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii on Xbox to play later on, eventually, because I have finally re-downloaded Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and it's so great. It runs perfectly on this thing, and it feels like I have a mini PlayStation or something that can just play games. So I am really seeing the vision with the Steam machine because I got impatient for it and living it.
Mm-hmm.
It will definitely be very necessary for someone new to this to enjoy the Steam OS Rubber Room. But let's see. Okay. Think I'm just okay. Friends can join your session by clicking Join a Player's Online Co-op Game. Session type. Okay. Can you try just inviting me through the Xbox menu? Because we are on it. I am on Xbox. Is that a thing that's allowed?
Oh, I thought you were on. Oh,
I am on
you were
PC.
on Steam for some reason. Okay, got it.
Yeah, no, I can see how that
that'll
would
work
be.
too. I just assumed you were on Steam for some reason.
That
Did you get
would
it?
make sense, but yeah, I downloaded the play it here on PC. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that works a lot better for that.
Okay.
There's users in a cross-play session. Okay, continue. Oh no, we'll get 360 no washed. Oh, this job. I
Yeah, this
remember.
was just the one I was on the career thing. Because we did the first one the first time we played this.
Well, this is a perfect use of this washer that you're gonna get. This makes this part
That's
so
handy.
much easier. So much easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get okay. So back to Metroid Prime 4 for a second.
Yeah.
Again, there's not a lot of shooting that you're actually doing, and it seems like even with the amazing mouse controls, the actual aspects of controlling said mouse game, like, I don't know, it feels like things just don't snap the way they should, even though there is a lock-on.
Yeah.
Or at least that things don't feel like they snap to the crosshairs that you're aiming at. It's so hard to explain without being able to look at that and discuss the game more in depth with you.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Metroid Prime is they always pitched it more as a first-person adventure game where the shooting is very secondary. That's why on at least the original GameCube versions, there was a lock-on, but it was a very loose lock-on, where you lock on, then you sort of fine-tune it as you were aiming.
They have a lock-on with free aim for this, and I'm not sure I agree.
So that's what the Wii version of Prime did a little more of, because you had the Wii remote aiming as well. It was kind of like, well, since you have more precision aiming in this than you did with the GameCube controller, it was a little bit more free form with the aiming. So it's just something you get used to. Have you played a Metroid Prime game before?
No, so I'm just still in the getting used to it phase for sure. It's more just like, okay, I'm pretty sure that the enemy variety, the puzzle variety, and the pacing is going to get better over time, because they're very much just introducing a lot of things. Again, I can see how if you introduce people to enough of the marine characters, they may get put off completely by this game, but I found him to be mostly harmless. I don't like him, sure, but and he's very much Captain Obvious, saying things that are right in front of you. But that could be helpful for someone, because, like, he did give me one helpful tip about using missiles to crack hard-shelled enemies. Though I feel like the design that is there is strong enough that there is not a need for this guy. I'm leaving my first impressions a little bit open-ended, because I really am liking how the mouse controls feel on this, which was a huge thing for me, even if I'm not using them for a lot. That's interesting right now, because I did see trailers for, like, you know, other psychic powers that could be really cool. They're not anything that I haven't seen before in other games. Like, there's the control missiles with the energy missiles.
Yeah, the Heavenly Sword power is what I call it.
Well, I call it, basically, to me, it's, like, very much similar to, the remote control Batarang from the Arkham games.
Yeah, that too.
That's what I was thinking of. What were you thinking of?
In Heavenly Sword, you could, like, control the arrows that you shoot, like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's...
The 6-axis.
Oh, gosh. So, I guess they really did want to show off the mouse controls that way, if you're doing it in that case. But the problem being that you have to detach both in order for it to recognize that.
Right.
So that can be slightly awkward in handheld mode, which is what I use 99% of the time. And, well, the frame rate, at 120 hertz is exactly what they said it would be. It's 120 hertz.
Yeah, I did watch a little bit of the Digital Foundry video saying, like, yeah, it actually holds at 120 for the most part.
I'm
So
sure
good
there's
on
been
Nintendo.
I'm sure there's been some dips, but I haven't noticed them thanks to the VRR.
I think they said, like, there's literally only one area they tested that has, like, any dips, any noticeable dips.
Well, that's great. So yeah, like, I better hope that I like this game in the end, but so far again, the annoyances that people would have are there and they're valid, and if they really bother you, then just don't buy the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, the whole, like, dialogue stuff and the extra characters they've added, I mean, that, to me, that's clearly, like, a focus group, like, hey, people, we need this to attract as many people who maybe aren't into the idea of self-guided exploration. We need to, like, front load it with the helper characters and then let the leash go later. So
yeah, I'm really hoping the leash goes later.
Yeah, what I hear, again, from the people whose stuff I've read and listened to about it, that I trust their opinions about these types of things, it sounds like it does. Like, you do meet other characters, but none of them are as, like, hand-holding as the first guy. So,
or as, like, making a grating impression, hopefully.
Yeah. Like, they've become very, very tertiary later, where they're literally just a place that you go to upgrade your beam or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's all they end up being. So
I thought it was something like that.
Yeah, so I don't think it sounds like, honestly, there's less, because in Metroid Prime 3 there was quite a bit of dialogue throughout the game. It seems like in this one they've really front loaded that stuff and then kind of let you be for, like, the last 2/3 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested to see, like, what all that entails, because I have been waiting for this game for, like, 17 years.
Wow.
18 years. Oh god, 18 years. Yeah. Prime 3 was summer 2007. And then, you know, there was Federation Force, which I pretty much played a couple hours of that and then looked up the story cutscenes that actually pertain to 4.
Well,
pretty much the only thing is the true ending of that game has a little tiny teaser of what I assume is going to be a thing in Prime 4, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not super caught up on the story anyway, so
I'm mostly excited to see. So the character they've shown off in trailers, the, like, blue guy with the weird, almost like sword arms. That guy's named Silux, and he was one of the playable characters in / antagonist in Metroid Prime Hunters on the DS, and I love that game more than most people.
Mentioned that at some point.
He was also in Prime 3, so it's also continuing a thread from Prime 3.
I see.
But it, like, I was probably one of a dozen people that was excited to see him come back at Prime 4. He was, like, my main character in the multiplayer for Prime Hunters.
There are probably dozens, multiple of you, dozens.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see where that goes. The only thing that makes the Prime stories not as interesting to care about is because they all take place, like, between other Metroid games, so there's nothing that's actually, like, advancing anything like the numbered Metroid games.
Oh.
So, like, there's only so much places they can go before it's like, well, we're not going any further in the Metroid timeline, so unless they surprise us with this one, I don't know. But Metroid Prime was always pitched as, at least with the first one, because Nintendo, I think, was afraid of, like, moving the Metroid timeline forward at that time with a side game, even though the Metroid Prime series kind of became the main Metroid series for a while.
Yeah.
But they've always just kind of stuck them in between other Metroids.
Hmm.
Like the the numbered ones where you have Metroid 1, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion,
Yeah, and so I can
Metroid
see
Dread.
that fear that like people are just not gonna glom onto a fourth entry in a side game series, basically, of a series that doesn't have the numbers that Mario does, obviously, or even Donkey Kong. And they really wanted it to be a big, splashy first-person shooter for this console. So yeah, I can see how, maybe a couple of quickly QA'd characters in the last like year of development probably helped a little bit with that onboarding for some people.
Yeah. Like I think they need this thing to like, or they want it to at least get people who, get a modern game playing child to want to continue to play the game and get interested in Metroid, because that's always something they struggled with.
Because the crossover audience between some people who liked the Dragon Age the Veilguard dialogue and those who liked the Metroid Prime 4 dialogue is the perfect circle. Just kidding slightly. Well, and I mean, I liked actually a lot of the dialogue moments in Dragon Age the Veilguard. I need to get back to that personally. It's just that, anachronistic dialogue that takes you out of a sci-fi fantasy thing needs to be done very carefully. And so it feels like, yeah, it's a problem, but something that isn't the biggest deal in the world in the end. Let me just it's these little edges that always trip me up when
I just noticed
about
we have something on the base that we... Oh wait, I got some of it at least.
Yeah.
Something over here. Yeah, but I'm very looking forward to playing any of that of Prime 4, because it's definitely something I've been anticipating since they announced it before the Switch launched, I believe.
Oh gosh, yeah, that has been a long time gestating, and
like,
that could mean it's ultimately uneven.
When it got announced, I was like, it was like a decade past when Metroid Prime 3 came out, and even then it felt like forever, and now it's just been so long.
Well, this is like
the first new game Retro's put out since 2014 as well. So
wow.
It's been almost 12 years for them since they put out a brand new original game. They've helped out with other things, but first new thing for them in so long.
Yeah, I can imagine that being a tenth of the hype for GTA 6.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, and at least we can rest easy knowing that even the middest of Nintendo efforts, as it appears that the Metacritic is like in the 80s, high 70s, low 80s, which is probably about where I'm gonna be with this game at this rate. Unless they do something super surprising at the end, it's not going to be my game of the year like I thought it would be. But that's much better than any amount of effort that EA appears to be putting into the NHL series, because they can't even be bothered to ask one old guy to come back in for the cover. So they just decided to look at his past photos and then average it out with AI for the
didn't
cover.
Hear about that? That's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it seems like if there is a way to get away with AI use, then it seems like companies are gonna do that. Let's see. I mean, it's hard to make games for so long and then just... Oh, this part, yeah. I thought, oh yeah, I'm so done, but nope. Oh, it's so gross in here. Well, people are generating entire games now. Like, Bird Game got viral. I don't know what the fuck that's about, nor do I want to look at it, but just Bird Game. It's just like, well, this is where shitification is heading. You know, games that get worked on for 10 plus years get tossed out for silly things. Because, you know what, even if the dialogue for Metroid Prime 4 was a major problem, it doesn't seem like the kind of problem that you throw away an entire game for if the gameplay is otherwise good. So that's why I'm persevering through it myself. But, well, it seems our entertainment world is about to get even more shitified, because I think, my friend, that we have to tackle the big elephant that has eaten all of our peanuts. Netflix buying up Warner Brothers Discovery for $82 billion.
Oh, did they actually go through with that? I heard the rumors
about
that.
It's been officially announced.
Oh, okay.
None of the outcomes are potentially good, because there will almost certainly be less movies in theaters for less time. I don't know why companies are like, well, we're just not gonna put our movies in theaters and still expect them to make $1 billion after like 3 weeks of or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind, like, streaming is great and all, but I definitely prefer the theater experience. And, like, even for me who does prefer the theater experience, the quickness that movies come to streaming now is, like, jarring to me. Like, for example, I'm trying to get some friends to go see Zootopia 2 this weekend, and even I'm kind of like, well, I could just wait a month and a half and it'll be on Disney Plus.
Well, there is
at this point.
Well, there is Wicked for Good, which I really liked it. This was my first movie in theaters in months, because I, support it in principle, but the prices have just gotten insane, and for some reason my season pass for my local Alamo still doesn't work. So I have to figure out a lot of troubleshooting with that, because even the theater experience has been shitified. But, like, well, I got to have a nice desserty vodka thing there, and some braised shishito peppers after having some dinner with my parents before that. Anyway, so how to go about this? Okay, so the audiences have agreed for a long time now that the first act of Wicked is stronger than the second. This holds true for this movie as well. If I had seen the original Wicked second act first, I'd be a lot madder about how that rushes the other Wizard of Oz characters and like manhandles their emotional arcs than I would be for this. I mean, I know it's not an exact prequel to the 1937 movie. It's a loose adaptation, but they really did my girl Dorothy dirty here. Like, this poor child. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And they've manhandled the Tin Man. I know he doesn't have a heart, but this is ridiculous. And then, well, I get why they went the way they did with the Scarecrow and the Cowardly Lion, but it seems like they really just ran out of time in the book and to wrap up everything. And then the musical tried to fix that, kind of, but mostly had to cut out all the bestiality crap that Gregory Maguire is apparently into. And people really do forget just how terrible this book is. And then they do add a little bit with the movie to flesh it out, but it's like, well, this second part is just a narrative quicksand mess. Very much redeemed by the songs, which are not as great as the first movie, but they're very solid for what they are. And I didn't even realize though that No Place Like Home was a new song for this movie, because it feels very much tailored to this moment, and I cried. But yeah, none of the outcomes from Netflix buying Warner Brothers are good, because well, let's say it does go through and doesn't get immediately kiboshed by the Trump administration in favor of Larry Ellison complaining about how, oh, this is such an unfair deal. Let me go to my friends at the FCC and pay them a quick bribe to get a better one, because that's where we've descended in less than a year as a country. It is just open corruption with nobody caring. Besides the theatrical operations, what happens to people who are subscribed to both HBO Max and Netflix? Is it an attempted merger of both? Probably not, but
I wonder if, because like, you know, if you look at what Disney and Hulu has done with Hulu now that they're like,
it's a bundle until now slowly until slowly Hulu is just absorbed into everything, and I guess that
I think they'll do what, because like I remember at first with Hulu and Disney Plus, they were like, hey, we'll do a bundle with them, and then they're like, well, we'll just put a bunch of Hulu stuff on Disney Plus, and now it's becoming more and more, we just want you just using Disney Plus at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that you know, there's some great like contingent of people who are subscribed to both, and so will be immediately paying a lot more money for this, but I'm concerned from the gaming side of it in particular. Nothing is changing in the immediate term. Like, the Warner Brothers games are still going to be operationally separate, but it's like, well, Netflix doesn't exactly have the greatest strategic mindset for gaming. It's a way for them to add value to their membership. And who knows, maybe, you know, if these business units actually talked to each other, more games could be put out. But somehow I doubt that will be the case. Somehow I think that the indie games that no longer draw immediately to Netflix, because now they can just use the recognizable IP, are gonna get kiboshed and people laid off. I don't know when, or who, or how exactly, but this is going to happen, because this is the quickest way that they can make their money back. It is in cash, but still, that's a lot of money, while Netflix basically grew for years, fueled by debt. And so, who knows what they're gonna have to do in order to continue buying the content that people expect, even with Warner Brothers. You still gotta buy your K-dramas, and it's like, well, do they just then not make a bunch of games for the Netflix side of it, period, and just the game side of Warner Brothers is a going concern, but there's not a lot of investment in just doing more than pumping out, again, the recognizable IP. But this is exactly what happened with Microsoft, and you know, them realizing, hey, we don't have to try anymore with these, well, not try anymore, but like, well, it doesn't seem like they're really promoting things like Keeper all that much. They're there for people who want that, but you know, it seems like most of the marketing this year went to Call of Duty, because that's the name that sells, and it was terrible this year. And then I've been getting conflicting information as I've been researching this about how much the ZeniMax Online team that was brought on to create Fallout 5 is actually doing. But it's like, well, they tried just staffing up quickly before, when a game was long in tooth in development, like how they got Crystal Dynamics to help out with Perfect Dark, and then nothing happened with that, and Crystal Dynamics is facing layoffs.
Yep.
So what happens if they just hastily try to, make Fallout 5 a thing, but rushing such a big, enormous game, or even using AI with that, to try and make it faster, means that it ends up being rushed to try and time with the show, and then just tarnishes that brand, and suddenly, yeah, people are laid off again. This is the problem with putting your focus on fewer and fewer big brands, I feel like. I could have sworn there was... No dirt on here, it seems.
It's the inner wall that I'm spraying right now. I'm just trying to find the last little bit.
It had a UI glitch before where it said lower changing table while it was open, and then raise changing table while it was closed.
There we go.
Alrighty. Nicely done. Okay, so yeah, we can talk a little bit in the next one before you go, I suppose, since you'll probably want to go at like 11 again.
Let me see, what time is it? Yeah, we can chat for a few more minutes, but I'll probably just quit out of this.
Sure, that's fine. Let's see. Oh, and what's funny is that now I'm finally looking into selling my Mac Mini just as Valve is investing more in ARM compatibility. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to ask you about. Oh, okay, it disconnected when you disconnected. Got it. Is that Sega has admitted it will use AI in game development. That's what I... and, Postal posted a game that they contracted out a Russian indie developer for, called Postal Bullet Paradise, which is basically like a Postal Survivors.
Okay.
Which sounds exactly perfect for that game, but the developer they contracted got caught using AI, and they canceled the entire game in 2 days after from announcement. How do you just look at that and not even check or verify any of that?
Yeah, that's wild.
And meanwhile, like I said, Sega has said that it will use AI in game development in appropriate use cases. I mean, it can... They say, well, they acknowledge that there's going to be resistance in these creative areas, so they're going to be very, very careful. I mean, we're getting to the point where I think it has to be used in the development pipeline at some point if people want games to not take 10 years. But it leaves me torn because, again, of the potential for people to lose their jobs. And we're not in a post-work society yet. Not at all. I mean, maybe it'll be nice if work is optional in 20 years because of this, but who knows what the world will be like at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to let you know that there is a bit more to the PowerWash Simulator job house area as well. Like I've been anytime that I've gotten furniture, as you may have seen, you actually have to wash the item before you can put it in your house. So it's like, okay, this is cute. Like I can kind of roleplay that this is the one chair in this massive office that my client actually sits in before talking about what they need power washed. Yeah, and so let me think what else there is. Well, I'm worried that all of this rush to do things faster just is going to continue to bury the kinds of amazing indie games that I've been really enjoying on my PC. Like, I might get horses on GOG just because I'm so curious about that. Have you heard about this game?
A little bit about like it being banned from several storefronts,
Yeah, for
but
like the most graphic sex. Um,
yeah, I don't know much beyond that. I just saw the headlines. I was like, oh, okay.
but that definitely generates some buzz when you're banned.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Hatred, for example, and now it's one of the most talked about adults-only games of all time. Um, even though, from what I understand, it's just a basic, boring top-down shooter in the style of the original Postal with an edge filter over it from the 2000s, and so not very special at all. Um, yeah, I'll let you know how that is. But what else have I been playing? Before I let you go, let me quit out. Oh yeah. Let's see. Hey, look, points. Get them before they're gone. Um, yeah, a lot of the games that I've been installing have just been ones that I want to play but just haven't had the chance to. Um, like I want to finally tackle Balatro, and maybe the UI for that will be better. Um, it'll be nice to play American Truck Simulator on the big screen. Oh, I know.
Mhm.
Crown Champions is still great, as I've been mentioning. On the big screen, it's nice to have that like laid back console experience for this game. And
Yeah.
as I touched on a little bit, all of the Sony games been performing well. Um, I really just with the problems that I had with Sea of Thieves, it really just is that they never bothered to update the drivers, and so I'm screwed on that game. I
Mm.
really hope they do, including for ARM support, so that I can have a better time with that this time. But yeah, I'm gonna unfortunately be refunding um, the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds now in order to get $95 back. Anyway, what day do you think you'll be free? Because the Game Awards is on the 11th.
Which day of the week is that again?
Let's see. So that would be next Thursday.
Right. I believe I'm working that day, so and I'll probably just get home and watch the Game Awards at whatever
Yeah,
time
yeah.
I get home.
That's what I'll do too.
Um, Let me try to think. I think I'm working that weekend too, so I don't know if I'll be able to get on until like actually, let me think.
Well, if you're on before, we could have an off day and then
Yeah,
just
I was gonna say like I'll probably be able to get on someday before the Game Awards, but I think like that weekend and stuff is gonna be super busy because I'll be working.
yeah, and
So
so that's fine.
yeah,
I
let's say the next day I'll be like free probably would be Monday, I think, but I'll get back to you on that. I'm not totally sure.
okay, yeah, Monday's fine. And so we
Okay.
can have our next show sometime at the week after the Game Awards.
Yeah.
We won't be timely for social media, but that's okay because, well, you don't come to Sunny Redemption Sailing for that. You come to us for